Hi, good morning, or is it good evening, everyone listening in today. My name is Kalu Aja. Welcome to another Twitter Spaces where we talk about money, the economy, of course, finance, and how does this all affect you personally? How does this get to your wallet? That's what we'll talk about here every Saturday. Today we're doing one by 6 p.m., a bit early. How's the World Cup going for you guys? Hope your favorite teams are winning and you guys are having fun watching. Great. All right, today we're going to talk about bill payments. If you don't know what that is, hang in. You will be enriched and educated. We're going to talk bill payments. How you can make payments right without going to your bank, without using cash, and of course, we're talking about this with this new change of the naira, also with the financial inclusion that Nigeria is talking about. How does all this intersect, right? Nigeria is, of course, the largest economy in Africa in terms of trade. We're a huge trading nation, right? A huge percentage of our GDP growth is from trade. We were used to be a cash economy a long time ago. Now we are fully, I would say we're marching slowly but surely towards what I'll call a non-cash transactional, should we say, market, right? POS use has kept on going up in Nigeria. It's just kept on going up in Nigeria. And the use of checks has also kept on going down. So if you simply compared how much cash or how much transactions have been completed using the POS, and you compare that to what we're using on checks, you would just see visually, right, that Nigeria has really sort of adopted, and is using more of the non-cash, significantly non-banking to settle transactions. I mean, the figures I did see from the NIBSS is about 655 billion. That's 6.5 or so transactions completed in 2021 alone, right? So it's a lot. Let me get that number real quick for you guys, right? So in 2021, we're talking about 982 million in 2021 compared to about 655 in 2020. So big jump in POS volumes across Nigeria. Got two guys here with me. I've got Ladi. Let me invite Ladi to speak. Ladi is going to be my co-host today. We've also got Taju. I'm trying to get Taju in here. Taju, of course, is from Momo, and he's going to work with us to give us the story of Momo and how Momo is trying to, drive this bill payment revolution, I call it, in Nigeria. So, Ladi and Taju, I've sent you guys invites. Would love for you to jump right in so we can get started. Great. Let me give you guys just a few numbers, right? Like I said, checks has been going down while the use of POS has really been going up. Just when we start to ask questions, I would really love to know from you, the listeners, right? How you settle transactions now. I know, like, if you had to pay, if you went to like a bar or to a restaurant, how are you settling your transactions? Is it cards? Is it your phone? Do you write a physical check? Do you pay cash? I would love to know that just for my own personal pool. Hey, Laddie, I see you're in here. Laddie, you want to do an unmute and do a welcome?
Good evening. Such a pleasure to be here tonight. I hope you're doing okay as well.
I am doing just fine. Thank you, Laddie.
It's an exciting evening. Excellent. So I think you can go ahead. Just give me a couple of minutes to set up.
Super, guys. All right, excellent. I'll do that. All right. So, guys, again, what I normally do is try to run through the numbers. I like to run through the numbers just to give us, we say, a base year, right? Just a base year of what we are speaking about, just so you can understand how high or how much this growth has been. The figures I have, give or take 2012. Let me give you the figures for 2012. Nigeria was doing about 46 billion in 2012. 46 billion. This is figures from the NIBSS, yeah? In December, just December alone, right? We did about 699 billion. So for the entire year when we started this all about 2012, POS transactions were about 46 billion in 2012, right? But in 2021 alone, we're looking at about 6.4 trillion. Don't even want to calculate the growth in that. 6.4 trillion as compared to 46 billion way back in 2012. There's been an adoption in bill payments, right? Lots of Nigerians now use their phones. There's been the GSM. Everyone really has a phone or has access to a phone. There's also been the POS. And most importantly, we've got the Central Bank of Nigeria licensing, should we say, the telco guys to then run non-bank transactional services. That means you don't have to have a bank account to be financially included in Nigeria anymore. If you have an NIN enabled account and you can link that to your BVN and you have that linked to your phone, it is possible to receive payments, i.e., like a salary, into your account, onto your wallet, on your phone, and then to make payments as well from that phone. What that has done, guys, it has boosted financial inclusion in Nigeria. Nigeria really has very, very low numbers in terms of financial inclusion. What we mean is that the bulk of Nigerians do not formally do their transactions, right, in a formal regulated banking environment. So we are less than 50%. If you do, less than 50% of Nigerians go into a bank and do their transactions, right? Even with mobile banking offered by the Nigerian banks, less than 50% in terms of the financial inclusion. And you can get these figures from there's a company called, a firm called EFINA, EFINA, and they do this biannual financial inclusion survey where they basically detail out how Nigerians are included and in what channels Nigerians are using to access financial services. So for banks in Nigeria, we've come a long way, but not really touching all corners of Nigeria, right? Banking is not really that widespread, and even the folks that do use banking, they do use it to receive salaries and then, of course, to withdraw salaries via debit cards and make payments. So POS usage, bill payments usage, which we want to talk about today, is a big, big, big factor in Nigeria's trade growth and also in wealth generation. Because when you go to a market and you tell the traders in that market that they are able to transact and settle without going to a bank, you are reducing cash use in the economy. Cash use is very expensive. You've got to look out for that cash. You've got to take care of that cash, count it, put it in the bank. It takes time, right? So you are reducing theft, you're reducing shortage, you're making your transactions faster from, say, T+7, which is transaction +7 or +4, to really just T on the hour, right? So you make a payment on your transactions, and within the hour or two, you are getting that full settlement in your bank. So this is the transition that Nigeria is adopting. And when the central bank allowed or licensed the telcos to offer the same settlement services, there's been a big, big, big boost in terms of adoption because most Nigerians have a phone, but most Nigerians don't have a bank. So it's easier for Nigerians to use their phone to do settlement. This is very different from mobile banking, right? Where you have your bank account, but you're using your bank account on your phone. This is more of bill pay, right? Where your phone itself becomes your bank. So it's going to be a shift to looking at your phone and not just communication, but your phone becomes your bank. You can transfer fiat money, convert it into your wallet, it sits on that phone. Then from your phone, using apps like the Momo, you can then make and settle those transactions. And of course, you can then basically become, quote unquote, financially included. What this means, guys, is this: most of those Nigerians without a bank account are able to enter the financial space. They're able to receive payments. Imagine if they were a plumber or if they were a carpenter, they didn't have a bank account. With their NIN enabled phones, they can do this now, right? They can make payments, they can receive payments. You also have the rural banking. I'm from a small town, small village way back in Abia State. With this, everyone in my village that has a phone technically is now financially included. There's no bank in my village, but we've got GSM access. If we've got GSM access, that means we've got a bank in that village and we can do transfers, we can do transactions, we can receive funds, we can make bill payments even in that village, right? So it expands the amount of transactions the small provision store in my village can do. Because now, if I send money home to my grandma, she can take her phone and go to that store and buy. I don't have to send physical cash to her. She has to go to a bank and all that. Hey, Ladi, so how do you see my opening? Did you want to add anything to it? Have I touched everything?
Yeah, you've actually covered a lot of ground in this conversation, and for me, I think back at the first opportunity of financial inclusion growth that we experienced as a society, and I remember when telcos started getting licenses in Nigeria, like MTN, for example, and you see that they set up a very strong retail chain where you can get a physical recharge card in paper, where you scratch it and then you load it into your smartphone, into your mobile phone at the time. And it became very big and very put us in such manner that a lot of people can become a recharge card vendor by themselves. And for me, I see that this is one of the first points where financial inclusion started growing for people. And so these days, you realize that there's a lot of mobile money agent penetration in the country using this same model or using the same network, where POS agents are built up around different locations. I even wrote an article about as it were. Everybody is now having a POS agency business as it were. And it's very exciting what is going to happen. I think it's going to become bigger. I think that with players Momo services and allowing people to buy bill payment, to pay for bills as it were generally. I think it's just going to become better. I think that I envisage now with this more PSB allowing people to pay for bills at their own convenience. I see that everyone can manage their bill payment from anywhere they are. So I think that ultimately financial inclusion will be country, and the users, the consumers will be the beneficiary of this at the end of the day.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. And let me just give you guys some hard figures, right? So we're saying Momo. What is Momo, right? So it's Momo PSB, right? PSB. So Momo is basically a mobile banking platform, right? So it offers financial services to merchants, fintech companies, banks, financial institutions, and of course, other organizations, right? It's an easy, safe way to ensure your bills are paid from the comfort of your home or office. Like I tried to give a story around it, right? What you essentially are doing is this. It's the same banking, but not through banks. Now, if you have a phone, you can technically set up to make payments and also to receive payments. This is the key thing here. You can also receive payments. So if you're an SME guy, you own a small store, you own a small shop, you do a service, you can set up to receive and also to make payments using the Momo PSB, right? What kind of bills? Subscriptions. I wrote a book, right? One of the big major problems I found out when I wrote that book was to receive payments in Nigeria, right? I could receive payments outside Nigeria very, very easy, right? I could receive payments and send my book over, but in Nigeria it was a bit difficult because I couldn't, the vendors didn't really service Nigeria. This was well before we had Momo PSB. Now it's a bit easier for me. I have a link. You go to the site, you click on that link, and I'm able to receive payments. So this is also what I'm talking about, making it personal for you. What kinds of payments? Electricity, DSTV. We're watching the World Cup now. You do not want to lose service when Brazil or is playing Argentina or something like that. Guys, we all know this, right? You can payments, you can do collections, school fees. January is school fees month, right? You can set that up and of course to pay. But for me, I'm a finance planning guy, right? One thing that you want to do when you are planning out your finances is to automate your payments and your income. The more you automate, right, the more your budget is better for you. So if you go into your budget and you see these are my critical expenses, what we like to call your non discretionary expenses. You can automate all these guys, right? So your salary comes in, you're automating it to pay your bill payment. Even if you're not paying by the month, you are taking it out of your income and putting it into a separate wallet month by month. So that way, when you want to pay your annual payments, you just have one bulk payment right there. So like your rent, for instance, Nigerians tend to pay rent annually, right? But what you can do is to set up a Momo payment, right? Where you can say, I want to make a payment from, set up an under account, call it your rent. And every month you do an auto pay from your salary that comes in straight to that account. So it's building up month by month. And by the end of the year, you have your rent already saved in, even plus interest. It's hard to save. I hear you guys, but this is how you want to use this services that are offered from offered today to achieve your financial goals. So it's to make payments, it's also to plan, also to invest. You can't invest if you don't save. And one thing this does for you is gives you that flexibility to determine how you want to receive payments through collections, and of course, how you want to also make payments through that service. So of course, renew your subscriptions, DSTV, Go, Star Times, do that. Pay your electricity bills, guys. You don't want to wake up 2 a.m. and NEPA has cut your lights, right? And of course, make payments through Momo Pay. So you can receive payments for your goods, like what I'm doing with my book, right? And of course, do your collections, remote collection of bills, even taxes, right? So it's really, really convenient. Like, remember what I said at the very, very top? Nigerians really have not adopted banks. I know it sounds crazy, but we really have not adopted a lot of banking in Nigeria because the financial inclusion for Nigeria is less than 50%, i.e. the formal banking channels. But with Momo, more people have a phone than have a bank. So it's much, much easier for us to adopt and to move into, this platform, the fintech platform, than the brick and mortar bank. So great, great, great job there by all concerned. Ladi, you are out. I see you're back in. Welcome back.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me back. I think the network just dropped me off for a bit. And based on what you're actually talking about here, and the analogy which I was drawing earlier, or the inference which I was drawing up earlier, as to how everyone can become financially empowered, as it is generally.
Hey guys, this is what I'm going to do, right? If you have a question, I think we're supposed to have the gentleman here from Momo, or if you have a question around this, around bill pay, how this would transit, let's even talk about also the big one, the Naira change, right? We know the Central Bank of Nigeria has changed to say the design of the Naira, the currency. So it's now all different, the 100, 200, and 1,000, all different now. And then I heard the CBN governor say that going forward, right, they were going to make it harder to get physical notes. The idea being, of course, if they make it harder to get physical notes, they can reduce the amount of physical notes in circulation. That would help inflation a bit, according to them. It would also reduce, that's what they want to do. They want to reduce the amount and volume of physical cash out there, hoping that would reduce the demand for cash and hopefully affect inflation and allow them to do more monetary policy, right? That's the thinking. But with things like, so going forward, if you wanted to buy something that's going to cost you, say, 200,000 naira, right, and you want to pay with cash, it's going to be a bit more difficult for you going forward because the central bank is going to make it either by charging you a fee or by making you fill lots of forms. They actually said this exact word, that are going to make you fill more forms to get access to cash. So cash is not going to be king, right, going forward in Nigeria because they're going to make you pay a lot to get cash. Doesn't mean that you don't have transactions, right? But you are going to have to pay a lot more to get those transactions done. So what's the way forward for you? It's going to be non-cash transactions, right? Your checks, your ATM card, but most importantly, using stuff like the Momo. So what it is for you to plan effectively for 2023, you have got to really, really, really essentially have things like the Momo. Because if you want to make a large payment or do a transfer with cash, you are going to be charged. So what that means for you is that you want to get into the game and avoid those charges. This is the plan, right? And this is essentially what they have said that they want to do. So you have got to get ahead of it, right? The central bank has said it's going to be a bit difficult, and that's what they're going to do. Take them at their word. So cash is going to be very, very hard to come by. Not that you won't make income, but cash is going to be hard to come by. You don't want to be the SME guy or the guy selling a product or service in Nigeria, and you are receiving, say, cash or just checks, right? That would put you at a disadvantage. You've got to be able to plug into this new POS, receive funds from the rank and file, in quote, Nigerians. What do Nigerians have? They have a phone and they are going to use it. So ensure you are aligned properly. If that would solve inflation, is not the question. The situation is that the central bank is going to make you having cash very, very difficult for you in 2020. And I'm quoting their words. Ladi, again, welcome back, co-hosting. You were giving us an analogy and you dropped up. Ladi, I want you to finish that thought. Hey, Ladi. All right. Ladi is having a few technical difficulties. I'm also trying to get Taju. Taju is here from Momo. I am trying to add him. I see him come in and he drops off. So I do apologize. He is going to be the guy. He's my resource guy, really, to talk us through what different. I see him here as a listener. I'm going to invite him to speak. I have done that real quick. And let me see if he can come in. Or Taj, just request to speak and I'll just add you and then you can go ahead and speak. So we can basically ask you a question. But hey, I've got Adesh. Don Prudent 07, what's on your mind? Are you, oh, Taju is now here as a speaker. Hey, Taju, can you hear me? Go ahead and say hi if you can.
Okay, hi, Kalu. Hi, everyone. Good evening.
How are you doing today? Hey, Taju, how you doing? What's up with you today, man?
I'm good. Sorry, I had a few challenges coming in as a speaker, but now I'm enabled.
Super, Taju. So just quick introduction. Tell us who you are, what you do, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, yeah. Thanks again, Kalu. My name is Tajuddin Omokide. They call me TJ for short. I work for Momo PSB, and then a very fantastic intro you've done, Kalu. And Ladi, I was just listening from the background. I have a couple of other colleagues here. I can see Lakin. I see a couple of other people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but very fantastic introduction you have done, actually. And then at some point, I think I would love to speak to the Naira redesign and the implications for payment and how you.
Why don't you just go ahead and say it right now, Taj? I'm sure everyone wants to understand really how that would impact them personally. I think you're going to just be a good guy to just give us that overview from the top end. So just go ahead on that.
Okay.
I have my questions, but go ahead and let's do that real quick.
Oh, great. So starting from the policy position of the CBN, I think you got it right. The CBN is pretty explicit on the fact that, it's not just a redesign, but it's the fact that, it's a mop-up action. And that, post the mop-up and the introduction of the new Naira design, cash in circulation is going to be significantly limited. Yeah, we don't know what, we don't have numbers to the policy, but you're getting into a scenario probably where, maybe probably 30 or 40% of your total value in the bank is what's available to you as cash. Mm-hmm. So, when that scenario comes, if you're a business person, even as an individual, first it's imperative that your money is introduced into the system. And then in introducing your money to the system, the question is how? Are you, I recall where, we sat down discussing this policy somewhere and I was saying, back in 1984, was it, when this change in Naira design happened? In my local government, there was just one bank branch, and everyone who earned the salary, everyone who had an account, everyone who had a need to go swap their money had to go there and queue within a few days left. And even when the exercise was concluded, we still discovered that my aged grandmother had cash under her pillow at home. Yeah. That, she didn't know, she didn't know what to do with it, and then, inadvertently lost value then. So in this case, the CBN is specific. You need to introduce your money into the system to be able to access the new Naira notes. Introducing your money to the system will mean that you have an account or a wallet or some form of, digital store of value. Some form of, you are financially included.
Correct.
So the wallet, the wallet such as the one Momo PSB offers is going to be a very convenient and easy way to introduce your money to the system, especially if you're in areas where you don't have access to the banks. Because in our own case, you can open a wallet by simply dialing a code on your phone. You can walk up to a Momo agent and fund your wallet and just pay money into your account. And when the new Naira note is redesigned, you be at liberty to make withdrawals anywhere you're withdrawing new Naira notes. So with respect to that, that's how you're going to access your new notes. But beyond that, actually, is the issue of payment. Because what the CBN is really driving at is a scenario where more Nigerians are doing digital payment and settling bills digitally. And I think, Kali, you actually struck the chord when you made your intro to say, the moment you have a phone, you have a line that is linked to your name, that is linked to a BVN. You are at liberty to open a wallet from the convenience of your house and access value and settle payments and do financial transactions. I think as we continue to hang out, we have an opportunity to talk more about how to open a mobile wallet.
Okay.
Thank you.
Excellent intro. So just to be clear, right? Let's talk specifically now about Momo. Like, what is it, right? So just assume I know nothing, right? But I have this phone, right? What is this Momo thing? I know I get the intro, but what is Momo? How do I get it? How do I use it? Is it a wallet? Is it an app? Just talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old that doesn't know anything about financial inclusion.
Okay, yeah. So Momo is a wallet. Momo is a wallet. It's a financial service, and then it enables you to open a wallet as a consumer or as an individual, and you do that from the convenience of your phone. So now there are two ways basically that you access the Momo service. I can access it via USSD by simply dialing a code on my phone, *671#. And in
say that again, please.
The wallet, *671#.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll get a prompt to set up a PIN, and once I set up a PIN, a wallet is open for me. Now, when a wallet is open for me this way, the next question will be, what is my account number? My account number is simply my phone number.
Oh.
So I open a wallet in 2 quick steps by simply dialing a code *671#. The moment I have an MTN line to this, I open a wallet. Now the next thing is, once I have a wallet, I want to put some money in my wallet that opens me up to all the services of Momo. By the way, also, you're able to access the Momo service via an app. Our consumer app, is in its final stages. I think I can confidently say that, before we end this month, we're going to release the consumer app. I've tested it, I've experienced it. It's fantastic. A couple of people that have used Momo service in other parts of Africa probably, will be very familiar with, the experience on the Momo app, as it were. So for those who have smartphones and prefer the app, it offers a really good experience. That's going to be available, for consumers, before the end of the month. But the one for agents is already available and has been operational. So if you're an agent and serve customers, you have access to the app. So two main channels for accessing the service, either via your USSD or via the app. Now, it opens you to a world of financial possibilities. One of the key things about Momo is that once you have a Momo wallet and you have money in your wallet, for you to send money to any other person, all you need is the person's phone number. And the person doesn't even have a need to have a wallet. By simply dialing the phone number, if I impute your phone number now, Kali, and then I send money to you, it just prompts me to say, you want to send to Kalu, and then I say yes, and I impute my PIN. You get, the money is transferred to you instantly, and you get a notification to say *71 hash to access your money. If it is such that you had never opened a Momo wallet before, once you dial *71 hash, it prompts you to set up a PIN, and then your wallet is set up and you access your money. So in terms of that P2P transfer, it makes it seamless, it is instant, and it is available to anyone. And let me tell you, it is for free. Right.
Gotcha. So essentially, this is like I get a phone, *671 hash. I have an account. My account is my phone number. Easy peasy. Simple. Great. What this means is that anyone has a bank account right now. So I don't have to go to the bank. Can I receive my salary through this? I can give this to my employer to pay my salaries to my phone. Is that it?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh, sure. You can do that. I mean, what you need to do is that, okay, depending on what the value of the salary is, similar to bank account, you're either a tier 1 account or a tier 2 account or a tier 3 account as defined by the regulations of central bank. In our own case, we just say, you your account like this, and you link your BVN, which is something you can do even on the USS yourself. You link your BVN to it, and then you are tier 2 transactions, and you can receive salaries, you can receive payments. So, talking about payments now, right? So, imagine, the possibility. I mean, I use myself as an example. So my typical behavior is I go into the shop and then, I go into the supermarket and then I do my grocery shopping. When I'm done, I'm most likely using my debit card on a POS terminal to make payment. Then I come out right in front of the supermarket. So there's this bookie, that's where I'll buy suya. Then I'm looking for cash to pay to you. I want to buy fruits from the next aboki. I'm looking for cash to pay to them. So the question is, why don't these people receive money like the supermarket do? The reason simply is that the aboki does not see himself as the kind of person that will go into the banking hall, meet the documentation requirements, and the process of the back and forth to be able to open an account as a merchant. So you see. You see that outside of the huge opportunity out there, paying, doing collections and payment for the likes of the supermarket and such other structured SMEs, there is the huge opportunity of the unstructured SMEs that are out there that need to be onboarded with absolute ease. You understand? They need to be onboarded with absolute ease, and we have visibility on their collections. And then, that means of payment will also be open and easy for all of their customers. That is the kind of convenience we're seeking to introduce, into that space.
And Patrick, it's not so. I mean, I was in Kenya, right? And we went to buy fish on the road. Fish, like Mama put. They had this fish and right as on the road. And the guys were buying fish. The lady just took a piece of paper. Back then, I didn't know anything about. We didn't have all the stuff in Nigeria. And she put a paper on her umbrella. And the guys would buy fish. I mean, this fish is like maybe in Nigeria, maybe like 20 naira, 50 naira, 100 naira. They would buy the fish and then they would use their phone and pay her. But I didn't know what it was back then. It was a Safaricom, and they were paying her with the fish thing. And I was like, wow, this was like really down to not the mobile banking within Nigeria where you're sending $1 million to pay for this, but really at the base level, the SME level. Lady selling rice under an umbrella, folks with their phones doing text, not like the smartphone, the text, the GSM text. And it was really like I was like, why doesn't Nigeria have this? This is not difficult to do, right? And that's what you're explaining. The suya guy should be able to receive payment for 1,000 naira suya from his phone if we can. So
absolutely,
this is where we're going to, right?
Absolutely. That's what we're doing. And you can do this from your basic feature phone that can read text, USS, this. That's the whole idea. So
you don't need a smartphone.
I should be able to receive money. I should be able to have visibility to the money I'm receiving, and I should move the money around. That's the whole idea. I receive my payments on this platform. Maybe when I'm paying to the person who's buying the offers, I'm able to use the same platform to reach those people. And why is this important for anyways, for those of us who are entrepreneurs, these people also are part of our either primary or secondary, supply chains. So we need to be able to enable them to receive payment remotely, give them absolute ease and visibility to their finances and all that. So in terms of payment, that's one secure to really try and solve.
So I think one question I would like to ask here is, you've spoken about the key opportunities that our consumers, everyone on this place can take advantage of. So I'm going to ask if this push to a particular user or is it open? So can everyone dial the code? It's just people who use a particular set of network and dial the 6S and 671 hash code.
Okay. So it's going to be actually. I mean, it's going to be, but for now, it is available only to MTN. But then, this code is going to be enabled on all mobile network operators.
Well, Taji, can I send money to another phone provider? If I have the Momo on my phone, can I send it to any other person? It has to be MTN to MTN more.
Okay, no, you can send to anybody. So in the same manner, the opening wallet now is available. I think a few weeks from the other end. Once we do the other end, we'll also be able to send money to anybody with a phone number on the other end, and not just
So I want to speak a bit about this interoperability which we are on right now. As of this evening, can I send? Let's say that I have an account with a regular bank in Nigeria. Can I send money to a Momo user? Also, if I want to say, I want to take my money from my bank account, put it in my Momo PSB account, is that something that is available for users at this point in time? Decide to switch after this conversation.
Okay, yes, sure you can. So we have this partnership with Remita. That enables you to use any bank account. I mean, if you have a bank account, and you have it associated with, you're able to fund it or let further. Alternatively, if you work with a branch and you need to fund the mobile wallet, this provide a Remita platform, you can do that, and you can do that for free as well. But beyond that, actually, our primary means of putting money to the account, into the wallets now, taking it out, like a Momo agent. So, I would challenge everyone to look at that are branded Momo agent. You're free to walk up to any one of them. But all they will need is your phone number, whether you want to your account, those services, we pay them, we pay them, you are not under any obligation to pay any additional monies to them as it were. Right.
Okay, that's exciting. And I think one thing you mentioned earlier, especially about the design. So I think you were the one who cited when that was 84. And for me, I want to ask. I'm intrigued. So right now, are you advocating that these Naira design are coming up and trying to get money into a bank account? Are you advocating that I can actually take my cash now, go to walk up to a Momo agent and give them my cash and credit it into my Momo wallet? Is that something that is possible at this point in time?
Oh yes, without doubt. Actually, that this is possible. Like I said, back in '84, when this happened in my whole local government, there was just one branch available. What that means is that every village, everybody needs to get to the bank branch with their cash, all the associated risk, to be able to make that exchange. So if for any reason you traveled all the way from the village, and for any reason you are not able to conclude that transaction on that day, you face the crime situation of, either going back for cash or sleeping over. I mean, to ensure you guys. And what is different is that you cannot be a Momo agent more often than not you have a phone now. Even if you don't have a Momo wallet, you can just do this quick step of dialing *771 hash. Your wallet is open against your account, against your phone, and immediately turn that. What is CBN business was a bit different. I mean, if I want to deliver I mean, CBN correctly. In this case, they're not just making a message. They want the money reduced to the system. They're doing a mop-up. And, post the mop-up, they start to release cash. And it's already giving us, a head start. The cash that is going to be released is not going to be anything near the value that was in circulation prior to this time. So it is imperative now that you have some form of electronic or digital stuff. Your wallet will do that for you conveniently and adequately as a consumer.
All right, Taju. If you guys don't mind, I want to just clear up if you guys have been waiting to speak. Let's see if I have a question for you, Taju. Just hang in there. I've got Abuchi and Adesh. Abuchi, let's go with you first. Abuchi, okay. Got a question? Go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Kalu.
How are you doing today?
Everyone. Fine, thank you.
Where are you calling in from?
I didn't hear you, sir.
Where are you calling in from, sir?
Okay, I'm speaking from Lagos.
Gotcha. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Quickly, the person you asked us earlier on, I use my phone transfer, then sometimes I use cash, sometimes I use ATM, depending on the situation. My concern is I love to see the optimistic side of this government authorized transaction that is going forward. My concern here is how are they working with the ISPs, as the internet service providers, because of the network issues that we do have in this country. What is their effort in that measure? You get, because it's one of the issues I do see people doing previous transactions to have everything. So when someone transfers money, you have situations where they say and things like that. Then talking about the rural area, one of the key things as part of my own suggestion, I think it's more education enlightenment, how you go a long way to help. So this is just my question or concern. Thank you.
Great. I got so ISPs, connection issues. Let's take the second one, then we can get Taju to respond. So Adesh, I've got you. On 7. How are you doing, sir?
Good day, Kalu. Thank you.
You're welcome, Adesh. Adesh, where are you coming from?
Lagos.
Lagos as well. Okay, go ahead. Taju's listening.
Okay. So, as you during the vision, just taking most of my question, and first part was going to be getting to know if this Momo PSP is actually working on the wallet system, and that has been answered. The other I'm looking at where
everyone.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So I'm saying that today we have users who have like 2 MTN as myself as an example. Right. So all of these numbers are linked to my NIN. So if I open this service, let's say the Momo account, one of my numbers, can I transact using that same wallet for the other numbers? Say they are all linked to my BVN. Let's say I am logged to one of those devices or that SIM in particular. That's the first part of the question. Right. So now you said maybe a couple of weeks or months to come, this service will be integrated to other service providers. Right. So if this is done, let's say Airtel, for example, Airtel users on Airtel can open a Momo PSP account. Taking account that, of course, users in Nigeria today, these are linked to their BVN. Does it mean that if I try to create an account using my Airtel line, do I get a new account for Momo PSP? Or it means that still into the first question, I'll still be able to transact using my original account, which is still the same NIN. So
Gotcha.
that's just the 2 questions that I have. Thank you.
Yeah, great questions. I hope Taji, did you get both questions? Both were really technical, very, very
I
important.
think I got it. I think thanks for the questions. I'll take the last one. First of all, talking about when I open an account. I mean, for an individual that has more than one line, but the same need. I mean, it's unique to individuals, right? As well. So, whether or not I can run the account across the three phone numbers. No, I think the wallets are the unique to a particular phone number. Once I open it, so we take the phone number from which you dial the code, you set up the PIN, and then your name is and that phone number we know is linked to your name. So that's one. The same thing with your PIN. So if it turns out, for instance, that you have another phone number linked to this, you can open the second wallet, but then there will be two very distinct wallets, as it were. There will be distinct wallets in this case. The same thing happens when we start to open wallets on other envelopes, right? If I dial the code from my phone number, which is from another service provider, and I open a Momo wallet, it's going to be unique on its own, different from the one I opened from my MTN number. But then all wallets have the same capabilities, the same use, the same rules apply to all wallets, regardless of which network service provider in this case. Right. Now, there's the question on the ISPs and all that, and the data and connectivity issues. So, okay, just to clarify, so while your phone number, while your wallet is tied to your phone number, you can access it either via the USSD platform, which essentially is a text-based platform, doesn't require data at all, or you can access it via an app, in which case it's on a smartphone and then you will need data. But the unique thing actually is that the data in this case is zero rated. Right? When you use agents that are using the Momo app, the Momo app now to serve customers, the service is zero rated. You don't need to have a data bundle active to be able to use the service.
So what you're saying is that I don't have to have data as long as I have internet. Cell phone service. I can use this.
Yes, you can. Yes, that's the way you're on.
That's exciting.
Very. That means my village is now financially included.
I should not need to access the service on USSD, do I?
No, you don't. For the USSD, certainly you don't. Yeah, and then but then even on the app where you ordinarily would need data, the service, PSB picks up that on your card. Actually.
Great. So I had a question. Just a question. If I hand over the mic. When I open the wallet, if I have money in that wallet, right? Do I earn any interest if I don't want to spend that money? If it's just there for a while, do I get any interest?
Okay, yes, there are circumstances under which you qualify for an interest in money in the wallet, right? Yeah, because on this platform, aside the very basic services of P2P transfer that will be available, transfer to banks, and payment of bills, there are going to be investment products on this platform as well. Oh. And then some of those investment products are savings based, where you give a very good description of it. Say some of the problems we're seeking to solve for and things that we do basically. I pay subscriptions, some I pay monthly. Tuition and school fees we do like 3 times in a year. House rent we do once in a year. So there'll be target savings products on this platform that will come with interest and specific business rules that will apply. So in such circumstances you qualify for an interest actually.
But is it out? When do you think it's going to be out yet?
Okay, so there are a number of things. At this first phase, I think first we're done with the opening of wallet, P2P, buying of airtime, buying of data, and all of those basic paying for basic utilities, DSTV, DSTV subscription, other cable TV subscriptions, electricity units for different discos and all that. All those ones are up and running, right? Now, going live next is the Momo Pay, which is going to, that is taking payment to another level altogether. And then after that, we're going to the investment product phase. So these are likely January Q1 next year, on our roadmap.
Yeah, Taji, this is massive. So what you're saying, let me just paint out a scenario here. I could take my money and put it into my wallet, right? And I want to pay my rent in 12 months from today, but I want to pay, say, I want to buy a shoe 3 months from today. I then open two separate wallets and I save on this guy for 12 months at this interest target savings rate, and this one for 3 months. I could take my cash in my wallet and invest it. It doesn't have to leave my wallet to go to a bank. Is that what you're saying?
That's absolutely correct. Yes. I mean, I can take money from my wallet, invest it, and it stay in my wallet. And then, and I can target it towards anything, any of my goals and objectives. Like you mentioned, I want to buy a pair of shoes at this time. I want to pay my rent at this time. So what it means is that, so while my money is there, giving me the comfort of myself, it's actually also earning interest and making money in a very secure manner.
And this again, this is going to be like, if I have 10 naira, I earn interest. It's not going to be like I have to have 100, right?
Oh yes, at the end of the day, that almost service is actually the financial inclusion-based service. So really, I mean, our proposition speaks to the most, the most bottom of the pyramid, if I may say. So whether it is 10 naira you have, there is something you can do on the platform. Both to enhance your ability to earn more, and then also to give you security and give you opportunities to plan out your finances. So actually, our aim is to serve everyone, from the guy who earns just some basic wage, at the close of the day, to the guy who earns the salary on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis, to the guy who's even receiving money, who's receiving money, who's receiving inbound remittance from other countries. These categories of people we're hoping to serve.
Can we talk about that more? Inbound remittances from a country. If I send in $100, how does that work with Momo?
Okay, so this is the scenario today, right? If I'm to receive money from abroad, I mean, we know the basic services available. I mean, usually available through the banks, right? Yeah, what it warrants is that, I've received money, I need to go to the bank, I need to show proof that I'm the person, and then I'm able to receive money. In some cases, it's only terminated to my account, if I have an account, and if it doesn't, if I don't have any account, then I'll need to consider, doing an exchange and letting it, but then commute, go show evidence that I'm the person before I can receive the money. How it will work differently for this. Now, because you have a wallet, when it comes in, and then value chain money for you from abroad, there are different players, right? Different categories of licenses of the CBN who play that value chain. So once it comes in and it has been, it's been received, we are, working with other players in that value chain, we're able to give you the equivalent of what you have received and it terminates your wallet. And this is what is important, for everyone. We know that Nigeria is getting bigger on remittance, especially with this Japan trend, right? So my agent mother in the village, when I'm sending money to her, I'm going to eliminate the risk of having a smart middleman in between who cuts her money and just gives her a little. So what's going to happen is that because she wants a phone line, and that is with her in the village, we can give her the equivalent of whatever you have sent to her straight into our wallet.
Wow.
And she can just step out of her house to any Momo agent near her and withdraw any amount of it she wants to use, or even go to a shop near her where Momo is accepted and do her business, without anyone getting to know that she actually received anything from outside of the country.
Taju, how do I say this? Are you saying now that it is possible? Is it available right now? Is it available right now? I.e., I send dollars.
Sorry, you're breaking up.
Okay. Is this service available right now? If I was to send $10 to my grandmom in the village, is it available right now? She can get that $10 in equivalent naira many Momo agents in Nigeria. Is it possible?
Okay, so that's it's not, we haven't launched that, but these are products that are finished.
Okay, excellent. So you're gonna like blow up remittances more or less, because then I saw Emefiele say that crude oil received, that the foreign reserves of Nigeria are no longer receiving foreign currency deposits from crude oil sales. He's saying that because crude oil sales have really gone down, the foreign reserves that we have are no longer being replenished by the sale of crude oil. I saw him say that, I think it was yesterday or so. So with this now, we have a way for remittances from Nigerians, a minimum 25 billion. That's the last figures I saw. To then have a formal legal way to flow from, say, dollars down to the village in Nigeria. We're talking about $10, $100. The welfare remittances is now a way for them to be captured into Nigeria, to come into the system, clear that folks can reach out, touch, and know.
Absolutely, Khalid. That's the way to run. And it, like just regardless of the value, as low as $5, $10, $100, and all that, it is the very last mile.
Excellent.
It is the very last mile, and we're going to put the complimentary service, by such beneficiaries. So when you do remittance for welfare purposes, is either the person needs to access cash or the person needs to be able to pay for services and goods using this platform as well. And our objective is to make that available and that close. Everyone in the village can come out within 5 minutes, access the mobile agent, and withdraw cash. 5 minutes, she gets into a shop where Momo is accepted as means of payment, and she's able to shop and access goods and services. That's part of the problem we're working to solve.
Ladi, are you still there? Adesh has his up. Adesh, can I ask a question?
Yeah. Before Adesh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I want to ask, because I want to shift the conversation towards big payments, away from remittances a little. Maybe Adesh's question is around remittances, so we'll come back to it. For big payments, it's interesting that you said that, using the Momo ecosystem is prorated for data, or as it is, or still rated for data usage. It means that even if I don't have data and I want to buy data, I can actually log into my Momo app and get data, which is exciting. So, how's the experience really is it a different experience if I want to pay for my utility payment? Say, I want to pay for my loan of you, for example, I want to pay for my AEDC, or AEDC, whatever DC it is, or KDC. Is it a different experience paying on Momo? Momo's environment, Momo's USSD network, as against other points, other sources? What's the experience in terms of payment?
Okay, yeah. So when you pay for EDC or any of the other discounts, actually utility payments, no, it's the same experience. So either of two ways. As the consumer, I have my wallet, and my wallet is from there, and then I'm able to do that via USSD. When I do that via USSD, the unit or the code is delivered to me as an SMS, right? It comes to me as a text message, and I have it on my phone. Alternatively, I can walk up to an agent and then do it as an agent point. DSTV the energy units could be, as a matter of fact, could be airtime and top up for any of the MNOs. Actually, all of them is available.
That's fantastic.
That's excellent. So Adesh, you have the floor.
Okay.
Adesh, go ahead. Yeah.
So, sorry, I was muted. So I just have two further questions that I want to ask Taji. So the first part is looking at for online payment and majorly transactions that are being run via. Right. So tomorrow I decide to put like a sort of Momo wallet, and then I feel like, okay, I'm enjoying the experience here, so there's no point for me keeping on that wallet, right? So I need to make like card transactions where that requires my card. Is there any form of a provision for that on that side? And if it's a card system, what kind of card is it looking at? More like NFC cards or chip cards? That's the first part of my question. And this part is also while there are more and more iterations going on of development of this payment system, what's the experience looking like with other platforms, right? So let's say today I drive into a station, I want to purchase maybe gas, and today they still use the normal terminal today, and I need to make payment, right? So what options are available for me there? Let's say that of course, there's no mobile agents at that station, that gas station. I need to make payment, and all I have is my phone. So what's the level of integration available at that point? So that's my two questions I have. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks very much for the question. Okay, so talking about first of all, let me talk about the experience at the gas stations and the likes. So if you look at the stats, right? In terms of financial inclusion, there are give or take between 38 million and 40 million BDNs in Nigeria, and that's also a proxy of the number of accounts and then by implication debit cards. So while we have a very huge, an established culture of doing our spend using a debit card on a POS terminal, it's a huge, strong culture. But then, I think at times, we just need to remember that this is around 40 million people, and the rest of the people are basically doing cash. But then, there is the huge opportunity available for cardless transactions. Like we see, Kalu mentioned the experience in Kenya with the experience in the Uganda with Momo, for instance, the experience in Ghana. So there is, whereas we have over 100 million mobile users in the country, 40 million people actively doing transactions using a debit card or poster. So the question is, imagine a scenario where the other 60 million are able to come in and they're also doing transactions. So there is a huge opportunity on the cardless side that we're looking to enable. That's one. So in this scenario, somebody who needs to buy gas in the filling station and the likes, right? So when I have a mobile wallet and the filling station is able to receive payments, via mobile wallet, Momo to Momo, then I'm able to either use USSD and a merchant ID with them, or I'm doing a QR code with my smartphone with them, and I pay seamlessly, and they get their money. You won't even need a mobile agent in that interface, as it were. As a matter of fact, there's a big announcement that will make one of the biggest chains of petroleum product supply in the country. We're going into a partnership with them, and then we'll announce that very soon. We have to do this kind of payments in all of their gas stations all over the country. So that's the way that we use payment across that. And in terms of online payment, and I want to thank you for raising this. So you see, two things are critical in driving e-commerce penetration and adoption of e-commerce. Number one is that people need to be able to pay. Number two is that payment has to be guaranteed, right? So for payments on e-commerce platforms, there are two ways to go about it. If you're going to need cards, then we're going to do virtual cards. We already do this in some of the operations in other countries. In Uganda, the virtual cards, system of payment is very, very prominent. payment, the NFC payments, it was very, very prominent for me. And these are features that are ready and available that will go live ultimately on this platform. It will be such that on e-commerce platforms you'll be able to make payments, when you need cards, you'll be able to get merchant cards. Or whether or not you consider going the route of chip-based cards and all that. I'm not sure yet. Not so likely yet.
And Taj, we talk about the merchant side of it, right? We've talked about the consumer, the guy paying. What do I need if I wanted to receive? Like, if I'm on the receive, I own the shop and all that. What about that? What do I need to set up? How do I get it up and all that kind of stuff?
Okay, so yes, okay, that's very good. So if I'm the merchant in this case, so it depends on what category of merchant I am. Because I could be a merchant and I'm not even a registered business, right? But I have a phone line. So my phone line just be as a merchant. But then I could also be the category of merchants, that is fully registered, has tax obligations, even has payroll obligation. Maybe I will have a system that manages my own supply chain, accounting systems, my receivables and payables are distinct. Then there are two options here. We onboard you properly with your KYC. And then also because of the fact that you're not more documented as a regular person, you have more possibilities and opportunities of putting you on the platform. In some other cases, you can integrate into your own financial system, your own accounting system, or your inventory system, and then and then the services are extended beyond just collections for you now. In your case, we're interacting with your inventory management system. We're interacting with your bookkeeping system, and then we're able to give you proper reports, and then opening up other possibilities, including merchant, other merchant schemes and support, available to you as a business. So depending on your level of KYC, depending on your level of structure and size, the level and scope of service we make available to you it's also scalable.
That's a good one to know. So, like, for me, like a small guy, SME guy, just selling one mono product, it's possible to also get these services. I can also receive, i.e., when you do your KYC, it can just go straight from my Momo to my bank or just sit in my wallet. And it's seamless for me, right? That's the whole idea what I'm going to. I'm really taking it down to the minimum, yeah.
It's going to be absolutely seamless. As an individual, you can be onboarded as a merchant. And all you need in this case is your phone number. Maybe at best you have your BVN. So, and then, collect it to your wallet, and then depending on what you like, you can choose to switch into a bank account of choice for you, based on what you opt for, right? Whether on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, as the case may be, we can switch into a bank account for you. Then also the other possibility also here is that, see someone, so maybe I run a shy, for instance. And then I buy a lot of it because maybe I'm dealing with a customer every night, and I'm doing like upwards of 30, 40 cartons of it. There must be a wholesaler that's also supplying me, who's probably under a distributor. So we can take that whole value chain and bring everybody into this system and ensure that while I'm doing my collection as the last mile person, I'm able to spend on the Momo platform, either with my wholesaler or the main distributor, or even the mother company that's supplying us this whole product.
Well, that works for me. Yeah, great job. Yeah, Ladi, what's it good now?
Yeah, so this is exciting, really. I must say, because it looks as if Momo PSB as a payment service opens any individual up to an endless world of opportunities, from trying to get my cash, trying to get my cash into a bank account, trying to get me to use a bank account without even having to step into any bank. I just finding any PSB agent around me, from having to pay my bill payment, and even sending money to other people with just a phone number, and it's exciting really. So for me, I think one question I would like to ask, which I'm sure quite a number of people also on this call are yearning to ask is, what's the long game for Momo PSB? What's the long game for Momo PSB? What's the plan for consumers beyond the now? What Momo plan to do for consumers beyond the now? So I would love for you to speak to that as well.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think the long term game for us actually is really first time consumer. The stats speak for themselves, right? Like we say, if we're a nation of over 200 million people, at least about 100 million people adults, and then we have BDNs, barely 40 million. There is 60 million out there. I need to be included. That's one. While it's of interest for both the government, central bank, and other stakeholders to get this group financially included, we're not in a position to drive the agenda of financial inclusion. That's one. So financially included is one, and then also to use that inclusion to enhance my economic and social well-being as an individual is another. Right? That's the enhancement. Number one, anyone anywhere can receive payments. Anyone anywhere can also pay bills, successfully. So take the case of the woman who's in Taraba State, who has a very unique skill and ability for groundnut, say, for instance. But then, a huge market is sitting in Lagos here, actually. Now, she can actually supply this huge market without leaving where she is. And then she gets paid every time she makes a supply. That is the kind of end game we're looking at. I talked about the elderly one, in this Japan. So I have an agent or auntie village, and I need to send you as little as $10 to her from any part of the world. And we're able to deliver it last night to her, and then she's able to, within 5 minutes, where she's staying, no matter how remote, she's able to access the cash, and she's able to access goods and services. That's part of the engine for us. And the huge opportunity in informal retail for collection that we're hoping to unlock. That's part of the engine for us. Then, of course, the organized SME, like we say, one of the small businesses that have, I have a payroll. I mean, I run a payroll. I pay suppliers. I run payments and receivables. Momo has a plan and a service available for you. And then the guy whose money, there are very basic things almost. I pay rent. I do transport on a daily basis. I must pay for I even earn my money on a daily basis. There is somebody who has respect to financial services. That's what we're looking. So we're looking to the kind of experience we have in the Kenyas, the Uganda, and the Ghana, where a huge and a reasonable chunk of our GDP is flowing through this platform. That's what we're looking for.
I love that, Ladi. I mean, Taji, I love that because for me, again, just to go back to this whole idea of financial planning and financial education, this is massive, right? Because I don't need a bank to accomplish this. Banks are good, but I get more inclusion. I get more folks into that train. I'm looking at the figures and they don't look good, right? I set up with the figures at the very top. Let me end again with the figures. Less than 50% of Nigerians are formally financially included. If you start to drill down to mobile banking and all that, the numbers are abysmal, right? Savings numbers, folks that save formally, abysmal. Folks that do mobile banking, this is like you go to your bank and use mobile app, abysmal. We're really nowhere there. Many reasons, but that's not what the topic is today. The reason is that we're not there yet. And I think when a service like on a phone-based, SMS-based service from a provider that's really across Nigeria, then brings out a product that says I always use my local government, right? I always use my tiny village. Everyone in my tiny village with this service now has a bank on their phone. All those guys in my village are now able to, or will be able to in the future, to receive remittances. They will be able to make payments for services as well. If they want to pay DSTV, if they want to pay their power, if they want to pay school fees, as long as that SME guy is enabled, they can get it done. This new Naira change is going to restrict Naira. Of course, the rural areas are going to be the biggest guys that are going to suffer from this restriction in paper currency. Because if there's no paper currency in Lagos, you best be sure there'll be no paper currency in Mafia in Abia State. But this gets you around that, right? You are able to, as an SME merchant, still offer services and receive payments on your phone, of course, when you pass all those KYC verification and all that. So you are still in the game, you are still in the hunt. If you are doing trade, this is a booster, this is a catalyst and an enabler for your trade. It's safer, it's at no cost, right? So it allows you to reach more people, but also the last mile. We're talking 10 naira, even change. We didn't talk about this tag, even change. You sell stuff at 9 naira 99 kobo. With paper currency, you can't get it done. But with POS, you can do 11 naira 97 kobo. You can do those smart pricing, which allows you to then introduce the use of coins and lower denomination payment. So I love it. That's also like my summary as we start to wind down. So, like, I don't know if you have anything you want to add, and then we can have Hamid ask his last question, and then we can take it from there.
Thank you, Kalu, and thank you to the co-host.
How are you
and
doing,
then
Hamid?
presentation from you to Tajim. So, quickly, you mentioned something along the line of remittances, and currently I'm in Portland. So, say I want to send money back home to Nigeria. Obviously, you have to have an MTN line, right? They are sending to make sure they can receive money to me. So, what do I need to do from here? Because it's something that it has to be. It is offline based. So, what do I have to do? So that's just my question.
Great question.
Okay. So thanks very much, Hamid, and then thanks for joining. So far away, actually. Okay, yeah. So the way that this there is international remittance. The way it works would be that there are agent points over there. Where you put, and there will be several service providers actually, where you could send money to Nigeria. And then when you send money to Nigeria, you're sending to an individual. We all are familiar with the services, banks like Kanda said, we're familiar with, how the services are delivered in the bank, but then, you take the case of the person who doesn't have access to the bank, doesn't have a bank account, doesn't have a bank branch near them, and probably is not in the best position to go get identified to meet the KYC requirements in the bank to be able to enjoy this service. So typically what happens is like if I go, for instance, to okay, let me see which is this maybe MoneyGram. I go to a MoneyGram in the city where I am, and then I'm sending money to Nigeria. So via MoneyGram as well, but then terminates in the bank and all that. But this time around, we're saying when you get to a MoneyGram, for instance, MoneyGram person is going to say, you're sending to Nigeria, right? There are options. You want it terminated in the bank account, you want it terminated in the customer's wallet. Now, if you choose that, all you now need is to make that phone number available. Then the process starts. I mean, there's a whole lot of back-end process around that. But then, when the money gets into Nigeria, the exact equivalent of what you have sent is what is terminated into the person's wallet. And the person doesn't even need to move an inch to receive this. Just the same way transfer from Lagos to get to the person, that's the same way it happens in this case. And guess what will happen? When you do this and the person doesn't have Momo, because it has an MTN number in this case, but that money can be terminated into the person's wallet. get it. All you need to do is dial the fastest cash, set up a pin, and they access their money. Wow. And then once the money is in the wallet, all the person needs to do is to step out and look for where is the Momo agent here. I want to cash out, and you can do that. Or I step into the shop nearby and say, "Oh, do you receive Momo here for payment?" Say, "Oh, yes, we do." And then he or she can shop. Actually, it's going to be that easy.
I love what I'm hearing. Reed, go ahead.
Well, thank you so much. Just for clarification, I understand everything quite alright now, but you mentioned something that I would need to go to probably an agent's store or something. I want to know the name of where I'll need to go to make the payments, where I will need to specify this, where I'm sending the money to. I'm not saying to the traditional bank, I'm saying to this.
Okay, so it's like
I want you to mention, yeah.
Okay, so I use MoneyGram for illustration. What's the services like we're going to announce? Where from different countries, which service providers you could do more from. But then I use MoneyGram for an illustration because I think it's easy for everyone to connect, right? But essentially, if you want to send money from abroad to Nigeria, even today, you need.
Oh, you dropped off, Taj.
I'm guessing it's his network or something.
Yeah, I already hear his point. Hamida, let us see if he's going to come back in.
Sure. Let's hope so.
Yeah, but I mean,
when we go, I think that it might be important for us because I feel like we're closing, and it might be important for us to rehash some of these things, especially because some people may have not joined at the beginning. So perhaps want to rehash it and make sure that it's on the same page and that we all are on the same page. And I think the first place to start from is the fact that right now, based on the high-level design that is happening, there is an opportunity for people to get their cash into a bank account, which is a Momo PSB account. All you need to do is take your cash, take it to a mobile money agent around you, and then with your phone number, you can get it. You automatically get a Momo PSB account, and your cash gets into a bank account that you can transfer anywhere. And it's important to point out that it's free transfer, so the exchange between your Momo PSB account and your bank account is free, based on what Tajiri mentioned earlier. So, which is also one thing. And I think the other thing is about the fact that the payments are also available for Momo PSB users. You can pay your bills, DSTV, airtime, using more data. So whether you're using it via USSD 671 hash or via the PSB itself, it's free. And so I think this critical is important to mention these two things and not forgetting the remittance use case, which for me I find very exciting.
Yeah.
The fact that I can send money to my mom or to my dad, to my friends, anywhere I am, send it to their mobile number and they get it. That for me, that play for me is going to be a winner. I think it's going to be a major winner in the market. I think it's just important for us to react so we are all going to lose the essence or the messaging, especially because right now the economy is not smiling on a lot of people. People are thinking of ways to save money. People are thinking of ways to manage their finances. People are planning to they are rethinking their personal finances into the new year as we round up this current year and many other things like that. So it's important that we bring these things together, we put them in focus, and we plan accordingly to live a better financial life.
Gotcha. And Chinedu, I know you're in here. We did lose Taj, but Chinedu, what questions do you have just so you can hear it and possibly we can maybe get a response? Go ahead, Chinedu. Chinedu? Okay, so I think Chinedu is off. Ladi, thank you so much for that closing summary. I think we've lost Taju. I would have wanted him to complete that thought he had. But I have been I enlightened a lot. I do like the remittances. I like the bill pay part of it. As an SME myself, I like that I'm able to set this up and to receive payments myself. So thank you so much for that summary, Ladi. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining in. We did have the guys from Momo, like I said, and they were here talking to us, explaining to us bill payments. We're linking it to a new Naira design by the Central Bank of Nigeria, explaining why you want to go get a bill payment service set up. Guys, from January, it's going to get harder to do cash. It's also not just that, right? It's also got some features and benefits that will aid you. I.e., we're talking about cash wallets, remittances, even savings on those wallets, right? Anything you can do without cash, you can control, you can manage, you can record. So you want to basically get into that as well. I know if you want to speak, Taju isn't here, but if you have a question, you could drop it, and I'll make sure to make Taju get back to you. Do you have a question, sir? Do you have a question? All right, guys. All right, so looks up. Can I go? I can hear you, so go ahead. All right. Your audio is very, very poor. I'm so sorry about that, sir. All right, Laddie, I'm going to shut it down, Laddie. I don't know if you have any objections, but we're good to go.
No, we're good to go. We're good to go. I think that I've summarized the conversation. I think everyone is on the same page, and everyone knows the value that having a PSP account offers just individual. Right now, even as a business owner, or even as anyone who is living in the diaspora, which is a big contribution. I think we're good to go.
Excellent. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. Let's go watch the soccer games and with this new understanding about and appreciate Momo Bill Pay for basically dropping by here on a Saturday. Laddie, I do appreciate you as well. Thanks, guys. I hope you guys have a great weekend as well. And I'll see you guys next week. We do this again on Monday morning where we review the business papers for the day. We'll just talk through what has happened and what we should watch out for the weekend. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you guys and bye.